It can be a little bit of a lonely journey, drop shipping or really kind of any entrepreneurial endeavor. I think the more communities you can get involved in, the more fun and, the more you learn from other people and you can share your experiences and stuff. So I used to run some really big accounts back in the day, but it kind of didn't make sense to keep all my eggs in one basket. I just feel like the problem when you become like kind of one big massive store is I feel like a couple of things, but
It's scary, dude.
are you worried about competition and stuff like that? I'm like, am I worried about parking another boat on the ocean? People don't understand like how many products are out there and how many new ones are coming online every day. It's more than anybody could keep up.
Okay, Ben, how you doing, bro?
Hey, what's up, Sammy? How are you?
Good, good. Ben, give us an update. What's going on with you, yeah?
Oh, not too much. Just I was actually celebrating my little boy's 8th birthday today with family and stuff. So we were just wrapping that up. So I hopped on the call for a little bit. But
That's cool.
yeah, just mainly here to like kind of listen and learn along with everybody else. Not so much ton of questions from me as much as just kind of like hearing other people's experiences and picking up what I can here and there. So
You bet. So share us with your experience so that everybody else can hear about it, huh?
yeah, no, I mean, I've been doing it probably longer than most. I started in 2012, 2013. So was kind of around for like the heyday and then the decline and, maybe a little bit of the resurgence now and stuff. So, but yeah, it's just kind of fun because it can be a little bit of a lonely journey, when you're doing
Oh
ecom by
man.
yourself or, drop shipping or really kind of any entrepreneurial endeavor. So, I think the more communities you can get involved in, the more fun and, the more you learn from other people and you can share your experiences and stuff. So,
You bet. You bet. So how's your eBay's going, yeah? Give us a quick update.
yeah, they're going good. Honestly, we had a pretty good week this last week with Prime Day. I think probably
Yeah,
everybody benefited a little bit from
you
that.
bet.
So,
You bet.
yeah, I took advantage. I got a couple of mini PCs that were like 20% off and some things like that as well. So, I benefited from the selling and the buying side
I
both.
bought a Fitbit.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, but that was fun, obviously. And then, it's kind of crazy that it's already like mid-October because
Mhm.
it just feels like it was summer and now like we're in fourth quarter and it's only going to get crazier from here.
You
So,
bet. You bet. I was wondering maybe my sales are like some of it are attributed to fourth Q, but
mhm.
the changes that I made were too drastic to factor in if it was fourth Q or not. So
Yeah.
Ben, tell us your numbers if you don't mind. Like how are you doing like on your accounts?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of depends on the account. Like some of them are brand new and then some of them have been established for a while. So
How,
I
how many accounts you got, bro?
Quite a few. I've been doing it a long time. So I used to run some really big accounts back in the day, but it kind of didn't make sense to keep all my eggs in one basket. So I just kind of diversified over time and did it that way now. I just feel like the problem when you become like kind of one big massive store is I feel like a couple of things. It used to be a lot easier, obviously back in the day to do that, but
It's scary, dude.
yeah, I mean,
Holy
like I
crap,
feel
that's
like from a
scary.
bunch of different angles, it's scary from, like everybody's going to snipe you the bigger that you get. But
Mhm.
then secondly too is like you're going to land on eBay's radar a lot more now. And third,
Unless you are very big and then Zik Analytics can't even scan you anymore.
yeah, I feel like Zik Analytics. Whatever. I'm not going to dog on them, but like there used to be TerraPeak back in the day, which is
Yeah,
now eBay bought them out, but that's what I used to
they
use back
research,
in the
yeah.
day. So, but yeah, they're okay. But yeah, if
Do you
you do
still
over a
use
hundred
eBay
thousand
research?
listings, sorry, what'd you say?
Do you still use TerraPeak or eBay research?
No, no. TerraPeak, once they got purchased by eBay, which was like, gosh, probably like 8 years ago or
Yeah.
something like that, that they got bought out, then I quit using them because once eBay bought them, they did away with the feature where you could just put in, another person's user ID and it would spit back like the exact sales that they've done for the
Yeah.
past 90 days on every product. So I used to just scrape that into CSV files like crazy back in the day, but now that no longer exists. So they purposely tried to hide that, and then Zik tried to kind of do that, but it's like they don't give you the ASINs. You got to go through like a ton of different steps and stuff. So
Yeah.
and
I
everybody
I
changes.
I actually tried the eBay research, right? Or the TerraPeak recently. Not recently, about like a couple months ago. And then what I
Yeah,
did was I used the data from TerraPeak. I just put in any keyword and I did product substitutions with each one of those items and
yeah.
it worked the same.
Really? That's
Yeah.
interesting. See, I haven't tried it in a few years, but it's like part of if you have an eBay store subscription, that's part of it now,
Yes,
isn't it? Okay.
the real problem with it is you're limited to 250 searches a day because the data
Oh,
is actually like I'm not gonna lie, like I think the like eBay Therapeutic or product research is probably the most powerful tool that they have, but
yeah.
it's just so throttled that it's not even usable
That's
because you need a
crazy.
store membership and there's only
Is
250.
it based on the subscription that you have? Like if you
No, it's
have like
just
an
in
anchor versus a
general.
premium?
It's
Oh,
just in
really?
general. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah,
I
I
have the
haven't.
anchor.
Once they did away with the ability to just search a user ID and find their products, I was like that. I had at one point I think 12 different Terapeak subscriptions, and so once they ended that, I like ended them all in one day, and they're like, "Hey, what's going on?" And I was like, "Well, you guys
But
did away with like the main feature," and I actually talked to some of their leadership at the time, and they were like, "Well, it wasn't by choice, and then eBay bought them out, so it didn't really matter." But
true.
yeah,
Have you ever tried Shelf Trend?
what is it?
Shelf Trend?
Haven't
It's
heard of
like
that.
it's like another Zik analytics. Like
Okay.
what's your main method right now? Are you just bulk listing or
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I like it used to all be based on sniping, and I know that things have changed nowadays. Obviously, you don't
not
have.
really. Not really. It's
Well, I mean, what I mean is in the sense of the playing field. Like there's a lot more. There's a lot more hurdles and a lot more like kind of barriers to entry, so to speak, than there used to be. Like
yeah.
I'm talking like 14, 15, 16, 17, like before, they
Yeah.
started like flagging accounts and all that kind of stuff. It was more just like sign up with any of these softwares and you could start right away. And
No, I was
you,
there,
you know,
man. I
yeah.
was there.
So
I
it
remember
used to
those
be the
days.
Wild West a little bit more. Now there's a
It's
few more things to
crazy.
overcome. Yeah.
Even Amazon, I remember pushing like 400 orders in one day,
Oh
one
yeah,
account.
on a brand new account with a gift
Brand new
card, like
account.
didn't matter.
It
Like you
was
could
crazy.
literally just go
Yeah.
haywire, and it didn't matter. So yeah, but I think to their credit, like the problem is that whenever you have abuse coming in, and there was a lot of that, unfortunately, I think, especially with like fraud gift cards and just
Yeah.
different things like that, where people started abusing the system. And Amazon and eBay, I think both kind of had to come in and take steps to correct it. So I understand why, but it sucks for the people who are trying to play the game right. So
I don't I thought that, but like especially in your case, your 2014 era, right?
mhm.
Like if the barrier to entry increases, that means that less competition is gonna be in here.
Yeah,
So
and that's kind of how I feel now. Like back in the day, it was just basically penny wars to the bottom of every item that you listed. It was like you undercut somebody a penny and they undercut you back until
yeah,
it was like break even or you're making only money on cash back and stuff. So it was
right.
very, very cutthroat back in the day. So
I think it is like I wouldn't say it's cutthroat today, right?
no.
As it was those days. Those
No,
days
I
were
I I feel like people got
brutal.
smarter, honestly, and I'm happy with the way that you teach it too, man, because it's like it's not a race to the bottom. Like a race to the
Right,
bottom, everybody loses. Like nobody
right.
wins in
You're
that
mass
situation.
testing.
Yeah, right.
Exactly,
So,
yeah.
but yeah,
That's so funny you say that. That's what the conversation me and Mark had one day, right? The sustainability of bulk listing versus snipe. If
yeah,
you're in the sniping game, you're always in that loop. You're gonna
right.
make a lot of money this month. There is no like Ben, you know this as well, right? If the truth is, if somebody had like 10 accounts, you can guarantee like an income of like 100,000 if you just do the work with
Hmm.
sniping. Like it's like a
Yeah,
guarantee at this point.
yeah,
Problem
yeah,
is, it's not a passive income. It is an active income, meaning
yeah,
that you're gonna list 100,000 items. It's gonna be cutthroat. Some guy's gonna snipe you. Next month you're looking at 5,000. You're gonna have to restart that process
yeah,
over and over again, right?
yeah, yeah.
But the
Yeah, and
beautiful
there's
thing,
always somebody who's willing to give up more profit than you. You know what I mean? That's what you learn. It's just like a lot of people, what I found is it's just like there was, and again, this is referencing the earlier days, but it was kind of like people just wouldn't even know how to calculate their numbers right for profits or sales or anything.
right?
They'd be like, "Oh yeah, I have to pay eBay fees.
That's
I
funny.
forgot about that." And so they would mark their stuff so low, and it's just like, okay, well, I guess he gets all the sales, but he's only going to be around for like a month before he realizes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so,
That I
but
I looked up my old snipe list, and
yeah.
most of the guys are gone.
Yeah. Oh, so okay. Funny story, man. I have a laptop sitting over here, and it's like a MacBook. This thing is a tank. It's lasted like 10 years, so I have no reason to get rid of it. But I was going through some old files yesterday and I found CSV files of like all these like seller names, like what you were just saying. And so it was like midnight and I was like, are any of these guys still around? So I was like looking up user ID feedbacks and like some of them are like nobody's selling anymore, but
Right.
like you still see a few of them around and it's like, I feel like eBay really shot
It's kind of
themselves in the foot.
nostalgic, huh? Like,
Well, yeah, but it's like some of their feedbacks, it's like over 100,000,
yeah.
all this craziness, and it's like I don't know. Sometimes I wonder if eBay ever takes a step back and is like, man, we really had something good going on there. Why'd we shoot ourselves in the foot? But I don't know because
Like,
they were making money hand over fist with all of the stuff that was being sold on their platform back in the
I
day. So,
I think it's still happening. Like Mark actually, I don't know if you saw Mark's recent video on YouTube, right? He kind
hmm
of broke down that eBay in 2024 did 20 billion in revenue, and then
hmm
he asked ChatGPT, and then he found out that around 50% of the sellers are dropshippers, right? So that means that dropshippers are amounting to about 10 billion, right, in
I think
revenue.
that would define on how you would. Well, I think it would depend on how you're defining drop shipping. I think there's
True.
definitely an element of that, but
True, but what I'm leaning towards is we
yeah.
fall under the category of drop shippers, and
hmm
Amazon to eBay, we extrapolated it. We're looking at least 100 million to 200 million of revenue that's being generated every year from like
Interesting.
Amazon to eBay. I,
Yeah, that might be true. I think I know for sure it was more than that back in the day, just based off of some guys that I knew and numbers I was doing, as
oh
well as
yeah,
like I
I
knew a
was doing
couple of other
100K
guys.
months too, man.
What's that now?
I was doing 100K months too back then,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
with the
So that's what I'm
sniping method,
saying.
yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely like the truth is like everybody can like balk at drop shipping all that they want to, but the fact of the matter is like eBay has what they call like holes in their marketplace. Basically,
Market
they call
gaps.
it they call it inventory gaps, and it is a real thing. They won't tell you about it on the back end.
You looked at their documents, their back-end documents, didn't you? You have
How'd you know
insider.
that?
Ben,
Yeah.
you've ever met other guys or like
Yeah,
probably
the
connected
the
heavily, huh?
only the only guy that I ever actually met in person, I don't know if you would know who this is, was the Honey Roasted Peanut. Do you know who he was?
What's his name?
He was a big U.S. seller. He never just because he's like a good friend. I wouldn't
Okay,
say his name
gotcha.
is all.
Yeah, yeah,
Mark
yeah.
Mark probably knows who he is. He might
I would have
remember who he was.
seen, I would have
Mark
seen
knows
the
everybody.
account. Yeah.
Mark knows
Yeah,
everybody.
he doesn't sell anymore. I think he
Yeah.
stopped in 2018 or 19, I want to say. But he was massive. And so I actually met him at an eBay conference and I thought like and I saw his name on like the list and my rep actually told me he's like, "Oh, he's going to be, at the same conference as you are." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, we're going to like hate each other." And what was funny is we met and I was like it was like somebody else to talk to about all the problems that we'd had and like all the different struggles and stuff. So it was like
How relieving was that, man?
oh my gosh, yeah, it was crazy.
Holy
And what was funny is
crap.
we both realized we were from like the same neck of the woods in Chicago. So we had
Yeah.
all these things in common. And even though it was like we were technically competitors, we ended up becoming more friends than anything.
So much
And
more value than fighting with each other.
oh my gosh. Yeah, it made a
Uh,
world of difference. So, but yeah, I
right.
mean, it was cool. Like I would go up and we'd go rock climbing together, or he would come down and visit me where I lived or where I moved to. And yeah, just a really good guy. He doesn't
Yeah.
sell anymore, but after that, that was kind of when I was like, okay, I need to join like a few more Facebook groups, and this was before Telegram and stuff. But that was when I started getting a little bit more involved in the community because I just thought, you expose yourself and everybody's just waiting to take advantage of you. But most people are pretty cool. So
That's the funniest. Whatever you thought was the exact thing I thought with Mark, and Mark was the one who convinced me to kind of like open up a community behind it. Because at the
yeah,
beginning, I used to think that, why would I share my secrets and all of this stuff? And then after Mark convinced me, he's like, look, if you go ahead and you share, what's gonna end up happening is you're gonna meet so many people. And then 6 years of experimenting alone, within 2 years, I've surpassed everything just by like
yeah,
hearing other people. And
yeah,
my business just took off like crazy.
yeah. That's
Yeah,
awesome, man.
I'm telling you, you can't do this stuff alone.
No, no. And the thing you start to realize too, man, like, I mean, Like, truth be told, is like, I mean, Amazon is one marketplace. Like, they're one. There's also, there's
Yeah.
Walmart and Home Depot and all these others that, like, I mean, just like, even to try and scratch the surface of what Amazon has, like, good luck. Like, it's like when people get this idea of like, like everybody else is going to take my products, it's like, there's like hundreds of million, like, you can't list all this
I
stuff in a
think it was
lifetime.
like what was it, Mark? Like 300 million products on Amazon?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was something bizarre. When we
It's
looked at the
like
numbers, it's pretty.
there's no way. We
No,
haven't
I,
filled any market gaps yet.
No, no. I tell people all the time when people are like, are you worried about competition and stuff like that? I'm like, am I worried about parking another boat on the ocean? Like that's what you're talking about, It's
That's a
like,
good quote.
yeah, I
Gotta
mean,
write that one down.
yeah, it's what
Right.
it's like. I mean, it's like people don't understand like how many products are out there and how many new ones are coming online every day. It's more than anybody could keep up with. So,
100%. 100%.
yeah,
Mark, you were
but
saying something, huh?
No, I was saying that something happened recently to confirm, and I think I mentioned it to you before, to confirm that eBay knows that we're drop shipping.
They
So like
100% know.
about like a month and a half ago, I posted a video talking about I was about to get top rated seller, right? So everything, and this is the account that I'm doing for YouTube. So everything on the account has all the metrics for top rated seller. But on the 21st, they said something like, you're breaking terms of service, right?
yeah.
So nothing happened to the account. They didn't stop me from selling. It still sells next to on the next 20 until be top rated. And then I called eBay and I tried to be like and all about it because on that account, there are items that they're like on that account, there are like two items that are being resold. So it's not like 100% drop shipping. And they were just like, no, like you run the account well, but like we can't give you top raters. Like, okay. So they obviously know, right? It's just that
Yeah.
like
That was
the
pretty
account
brave
is
of you to call
actually
them.
being run well and the customers are buying and receiving the item.
Yeah, no, eBay knows. I mean, they're
1 million
definitely
percent.
aware that I think the big thing
It's
is
as you said, we filled the market gaps. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
the big thing for them after 2017, so it was April 20th of 2018 was the official date that they started flagging accounts. And I remember talking with like a few people about it that were actually working at eBay at the time, and they just basically said there was so many people coming on at the time because of the ease with which you could do it, that there was a lot of people creating a lot of bad buyer experiences because they'd never sold a thing online anywhere before in their life. And then they were doing this and they was just like, I'll just cancel the order. Or I'll just like
Right.
not even place the order for like 10 days or whatever. So it was just you it was like people with no training, no experience at all, just kind of going on. And then it was like it just felt like it was getting worse and worse of a problem. So I feel like the people who now are doing it are legit providing value and are doing it well. I feel like if you don't do it well, like you're just not going to last long, or you're going to lose your store, have to start over, and then do better the next time. So I feel like it's a better system overall now, even though it's a little harder. So
Wow, you really summarized the eBay dropshipping journey in like two sentences. You're either gonna get suspended the first time if you don't do it well, or you're gonna have to make another account and try again.